Introduction. The concept of ancestors and their purpose in the afterlife is a profound and multifaceted topic that resonates across cultures and religions worldwide. Ancestors are often regarded as an essential link between the living and the spiritual realms, serving as guides, protectors, and intermediaries. Understanding the various roles and significances attributed to ancestors in the afterlife can provide deep insights into human beliefs about life, death, and the continuity of the soul. This essay explores these themes through a comprehensive examination of cultural traditions, religious doctrines, philosophical inquiries, and contemporary practices. By delving into these diverse perspectives, we aim to uncover the universal and unique aspects of how different societies perceive the purpose and role of ancestors in the afterlife. Cultural perspectives on ancestors and the afterlife. African traditions. In many African cultures, ancestors hold a revered position within the spiritual hierarchy. They are considered guardians and mediators between the living and the divine. The belief in ancestors' active involvement in the lives of their descendants is central to African spirituality. Ancestors are believed to possess the ability to influence the fortune, health, and overall well-being of their living relatives. Rituals and beliefs. African traditions involve various rituals to honor and communicate with ancestors. Libations, offerings, and ancestral altars are common practices. The Yoruba people of Nigeria, for instance, perform the annual Gungun festival to honor their ancestors, where masked dancers embody the spirits of the departed. Such rituals reinforce the bond between the living and the dead, ensuring that ancestors continue to play a protective and guiding role. Asian traditions. Chinese ancestor worship. In Chinese culture, ancestor worship is deeply rooted in the concept of filial piety, which emphasizes respect and duty towards one's parents and ancestors. The practice involves regular offerings of food, incense, and joss paper to the spirits of deceased family members. Festivals like Qingming Tomb Sweeping Day are dedicated to cleaning ancestors' graves and making offerings, reflecting the belief that ancestors continue to influence the living's prosperity and fortune. Japanese beliefs. In Japan, ancestral spirits are honored through both Shinto and Buddhist practices. The Obon festival, for example, is a time when it is believed that the spirits of ancestors return to the world of the living. Families welcome them with food offerings, lanterns, and dances Bon-Odori. This period of remembrance emphasizes the continuing connection between the living and the deceased, reinforcing family bonds and the cultural value of honoring one's heritage. Native American beliefs. For many Native American tribes, the connection between ancestors and the land is deeply significant. Ancestors are often regarded as the original caretakers of the land, and their spirits are believed to inhabit natural features like mountains, rivers, and forests. This belief fosters a profound respect for nature and a sense of responsibility to honor and protect it. Practices. Various tribes engage in ceremonies to honor their ancestors, such as the Navajo's Kainalda ceremony, which celebrates a girl's transition to womanhood and invokes the blessings of female ancestors. These practices ensure that ancestral wisdom and traditions are passed down through generations, maintaining a living connection with the past. Other indigenous cultures. Polynesian perspectives. In Polynesian cultures, ancestors are often considered deities or semi-divine beings. The Maori of New Zealand, for example, believe in the concept of Wakapapa, which encompasses genealogy and the spiritual connection to ancestors. Ancestral spirits, or Atua, are invoked in various rituals and ceremonies to provide guidance and protection. Aboriginal Australian views. Aboriginal Australians have a unique perspective on ancestors, viewing them as part of the Dreamtime, a timeless realm where the spirits of the ancestors reside. These ancestral beings are believed to have created the world and continue to inhabit the landscape. Stories, songs, and dances passed down through generations ensure that the knowledge and presence of ancestors remain a vital part of Aboriginal culture. Religious views on ancestors and the afterlife. Christianity. In Christianity, the concept of ancestors in the afterlife is often linked to the belief in heaven and the communion of saints. While not all denominations emphasize ancestor veneration, many Christians believe that the souls of the righteous deceased can intercede for the living. Theological perspectives. The Catholic tradition, for instance, includes the veneration of saints, who are considered spiritual ancestors. All Saints' Day is a time to honor all the saints, known and unknown, who are believed to intercede on behalf of the living. The practice of praying for the dead, particularly on All Souls' Day, reflects the belief in a continued connection between the living and the deceased, who may still need prayers to reach heaven. Protestant practices. While Protestant denominations generally reject the veneration of saints, they often honor deceased loved ones through memorial services and the maintenance of grave sites. The emphasis is on the hope of resurrection and reunion in the afterlife, where all believers will be united with Christ. Islam. In Islam, the afterlife is a central tenet of faith, with detailed beliefs about the soul's journey after death. Ancestors are often remembered and honored through prayers and charitable deeds. Views on the afterlife. Muslims believe in an afterlife where the soul is judged by Allah and either rewarded with paradise or punished in hell. The Quran and Hadith provide guidance on the importance of remembering and praying for deceased relatives. Prayers and deeds, acts of charity, such as giving to the poor or building wells, are often done in the name of deceased ancestors, with the belief that these good deeds can benefit the souls of the departed. Visiting graves and reciting Quranic verses are common practices to seek mercy for the deceased and to maintain a spiritual connection. Hinduism. Hinduism offers a rich tapestry of beliefs regarding the afterlife, including concepts of karma and reincarnation. Ancestors, known as pitras, are honored through specific rituals and ceremonies. Karma and reincarnation. Hindus believe that the soul undergoes a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, influenced by one's actions. Karma. Ancestors who have achieved moksha liberation are venerated and can offer blessings to the living. Ancestral rites. The Shraddha ceremony is a significant ritual performed to honor deceased ancestors. During this ceremony, offerings of food and water are made to ensure that the souls of ancestors are nourished and can attain peace. The Pitra Paksha period is specifically dedicated to performing these rites, reflecting the belief in a continued duty to care for one's ancestors. Buddhism. Buddhism's approach to the afterlife includes a focus on the cycle of rebirth and the accumulation of merit. Ancestors are remembered and honored through various practices. Cosmology and ancestors. In Buddhist cosmology, ancestors are often part of the cycle of samsara, the continuous cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The merit earned by the living can positively affect the condition of ancestors in their current existence. Vilambana and merit making. The Vilambana festival, particularly significant in East Asian Buddhism, involves rituals to alleviate the suffering of ancestors who may be in the lower realms. Offering food, chanting sutras, and performing acts of charity are ways to transfer merit to deceased relatives, ensuring their well-being and facilitating their journey towards enlightenment. Philosophical and psychological perspectives. Philosophical debates. The question of ancestors' purpose in the afterlife extends beyond religious doctrines to philosophical inquiries about existence, consciousness, and the nature of the soul. Philosophers have debated the existence of an afterlife and the continuation of personal identity beyond death. Existential considerations. Some philosophical perspectives, such as those of existentialists, focus on the individual's relationship with death and the meaning derived from one's actions during life. The legacy left behind, including the impact on descendants, can be seen as a form of continued existence. Metaphysical views. Philosophers like Plato and Kant have explored the idea of an eternal soul in the afterlife. The Platonic concept of the soul's immortality suggests that ancestors continue to exist in a non-physical realm, potentially influencing the living. Psychological significance. From a psychological perspective, the veneration of ancestors can play a crucial role in individual and collective well-being. The practice of remembering and honoring ancestors can provide a sense of continuity, identity, and belonging. Archetypes and the collective unconscious. Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious includes ancestral archetypes that influence an individual's psyche. These archetypes represent inherited memories and experiences from one's ancestors, shaping personality and behavior. Grief and remembrance. Psychologically, rituals for ancestors can help in the process of grieving and coping with loss. By maintaining a connection with deceased loved ones, individuals can find comfort and a sense of closure. Such practices also reinforce social bonds and cultural continuity. Contemporary views and practices. Modern spiritual movements in contemporary spirituality. The interest in ancestors and the afterlife has taken on new forms. Many modern spiritual movements incorporate elements of ancestor veneration, drawn from various cultural and religious traditions. New Age practices. The New Age movement often includes beliefs in past lives and ancestral spirits. Practices such as past life regression therapy and channeling aim to connect with ancestral wisdom and resolve past traumas. Eco-spirituality. Some modern spiritual practices emphasize the connection between ancestors and the natural world. This perspective aligns with indigenous beliefs and focuses on honoring the earth as a living entity, with ancestors as integral parts of the ecosystem. Ancestral DNA and genetic memory. Advancements in genetics and epigenetics have introduced new ways of understanding the influence of ancestors on the living. The study of ancestral DNA reveals how genetic traits and predispositions are passed down through generations. Genetic memory. Epigenetics suggests that experiences and environmental factors can affect gene expression and be inherited by future generations. This concept supports the idea that ancestral experiences can shape the behavior and health of descendants. Personal ancestry research. The growing popularity of DNA testing services allows individuals to trace their ancestry and learn about their genetic heritage. This interest in personal ancestry reflects a broader desire to connect with one's roots and understand the impact of ancestors on one's identity. Contemporary rituals and festivals. Modern societies continue to celebrate and honor ancestors through various rituals and festivals, often blending traditional practices with contemporary elements. Dia de los Muertos, the Mexican Day of the Dead. Dia de los Muertos is a vibrant celebration that combines indigenous and Catholic traditions. Families create altars ofrendas with photos, food, and mementos to welcome the spirits of deceased loved ones. This festival emphasizes the joyous remembrance of ancestors and the belief in their ongoing presence. Ancestor appreciation in urban settings. In urban environments, people find new ways to honor their ancestors, such as through online memorials, community gatherings, and cultural festivals. These practices reflect the adaptability of ancestral veneration to modern lifestyles and the enduring significance of honoring the past. Conclusion. The exploration of ancestors' purpose in the afterlife reveals a rich tapestry of beliefs and practices that span cultures, religions, and philosophies. Across diverse traditions, the veneration of ancestors serves to maintain a connection between the living and the deceased, offering guidance, protection, and a sense of continuity. Whether through elaborate rituals, simple prayers, or modern adaptations, the act of honoring ancestors reflects a universal human desire to understand our place in the cosmos and to honor the legacy of those who came before us. By examining these varied perspectives, we gain a deeper appreciation for the ways in which ancestors continue to shape our lives, both in this world and beyond. The belief in the enduring presence and influence of ancestors provides comfort, identity, and a sense of belonging, bridging the gap between the past and the present, and ensuring that the wisdom and spirit of our forebears remain a vital part of our journey through life and the afterlife. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful tips and guidance. For those who wish to explore deeper, I've prepared exclusive guides on my Etsy shop in my bio.